Hi everyone, Namaste. So today's topic from the VP platform is about anxiety and anxiety disorder. So we started already sharing information about psychological disorders, and today we'll be discussing about the anxiety disorder. So before going to anxiety disorder, so let us see, so what is anxiety? So anxiety is a very common term which happens to everyone. There is nobody who never experienced anxiety. Okay, so anxiety is a very common symptom. When it is called as anxiety disorder, that we will discuss today. So meaning and definition of anxiety disorder: it's a feeling of nervousness, worry, being blanked up situation. Severe anxiety and panic situation is called as anxiety disorder. So under anxiety disorder, person will be having severe symptoms of anxiety. He feels completely blanked up. He cannot remember his name also, so he feels very completely blanked up. He feels zero. And there will be severe anxiety and severe fear too. So that particular situation is called as anxiety. When it can be called as anxiety disorder, when it crosses a limit, when a person, individual cannot come back to his normal life because of that particular anxiety, then that is called anxiety disorder. Okay, even though it is a very common term, it becomes a disorder when it crosses a limit and it disturbs a person completely. He cannot come back to our normal life because of that anxiety. That is called anxiety disorder. Now we'll see what are the symptoms of anxiety disorder. First one is feeling nervous. So being nervous, being tensed up, being restless, so unable to relax himself, so wandering here and there, being very restless, that is also one of the symptom. Palpitation is increased heartbeat. Okay, then breathlessness, feeling difficulty in breathing normally, and there will be tremors, there will be shivering, there will be sweating, and there will be feeling of weakness. So the person feels lack of strength, person feels completely weak. So these are all the symptoms of anxiety disorder. Now we'll see what are the causes of anxiety. So the causes of anxiety I already discussed in other psychological disorders too, like heredity, biochemical imbalance, psychological factors, and the environmental disturbances. So heredity, it runs through the genes. Okay, then biochemical imbalance, so neurotransmitters which leads to anxiety are serotonin. So serotonin is one of the neurotransmitter or a biochemical. The secretion of serotonin, when it varies, so that leads to anxiety, and along with that psychological factors like being tensed up, maybe failure in the exam, interview fail, or failure in the love, or death of a loved one, or if our loved one is into any of the trouble, any health issues, major health problems, that leads to anxiety in a person. Along with that, environmental disturbances like flood, earthquake, so all these things, unexpected things, and which cannot be under control. We cannot control it, even though it is going to harm us, even though it is going to create a lots of destruction, but still we cannot control it. So we just have to, what I can say, we just have to remain as a helpless person. So that situation also leads to anxiety disorder. Okay, so these are all the four major causes of the anxiety disorder. There are different types of anxiety disorders which leads a complete session. That's why we'll be discussing about types of anxiety disorder in a different video. Okay, I'll just name today about anxiety disorders, types of anxiety disorders like OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and generalized anxiety disorder, phobia, panic attacks, and then acute stress disorder, post traumatic stress disorder. So these are the different types of anxiety disorder that we'll be discussing in the next session of our video. Now we'll be seeing the last aspect of today's video is the treatment. So medications are very much needed for anxiety because anxiety occurs because of imbalance of the biochemical. So to make a balanced biochemical secretion, there is a need of medication, and then counseling is also helps to a person to overcome anxiety. So okay, then systematic desensitization, it is one of the psychotherapy where slowly, step by step, the person will be made understand it is not a very harmful situation. It is not a very anxiety creating situation. So it will be explained. We are going to explain about systematic desensitization in a separate video too. Then yoga and meditation, with the instruction of therapist, you can follow some yoga asanas and meditation also to overcome anxiety. Along with that, relaxation, which is also called as shavasana. So relaxation is also very much helpful for anxiety disorder. So the one of the major or one of the famous relaxation which we usually advise a patient with anxiety disorder is a JPMR, Jacobson's progressive muscular relaxation, which is very effective for a person. Even there are many other breathing techniques, many other relaxation, mindful relaxation techniques, which also useful for a person to overcome the anxiety disorder. So in this session we have discussed what is anxiety, what is the meaning of anxiety disorder, and then about the symptoms, about the causes and the treatment. So hopefully it is informative for you all. So if you find it useful, please subscribe to our channel as soon as possible. Thank you so much.